Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we finally begin our journey with the Charlotte Bobcats here in the 2004-05 season. We were wheeling and dealing in our inaugural offseason, and I've put together a roster I'm really excited about. Because despite our expansion draft where we were not able to get anyone over 75, 76 overall, we were able to make some noise in the draft and in free agency. Of course, Andre Iguodala is our inaugural draft pick, selecting him at number 4 overall, but we also got Mehmet Okur in free agency from the Pistons, a 25-year-old do-it-all big man who bumped up to an 82 overall in the training period and had a really exciting summer league. Of course, we didn't get any superstars in free agency. It is our first year as a team, but instead we went after young, somewhat unproven players who, as a young, unproven team, we are willing to give them a chance to really break out. And I mean, for Okur, the ratings just speak for themselves. A 3-level scorer, he has an A- inside defense now, not terrible on the perimeter either, A- rebounding, A potential as well, so his outlook is potentially a future franchise player for us. And he's not the only guy we brought in. Deshaun Stevenson comes over and will look to be our main ball handler at the guard position. Not much of a playmaker, but that's where Iguodala comes in, as he also has the ability to shoulder some of that playmaking load. We also managed to get Udonis Haslem, who I have no idea why he was just sitting in free agency, but it didn't seem like the Heat were interested or able to re-sign him, so I swooped in and got him. At just 24 years old, he is more of an interior post-scoring big as opposed to Okur, who can stretch the floor a bit, so a really nice pairing there in the front court for us. We also signed Chris Anderson in free agency. Most of the rest of these players are guys we got in the expansion draft. I'm excited to see what we have in those guys as well. Steve Blake should be our starting point guard. He comes over from the Wizards at just 24 years of age. And backing him up will be our second first-round draft pick, Beno Udrih, a 22-year-old Slovenian point guard with 3-level scoring ability and a playstyle somewhat similar to Blake's. So that position should be somewhat consistent. Willie Green is the other young guy that we picked up in the expansion draft. He comes from Philadelphia. And right now he projects as a bench spark plug, maybe our top bench scorer. We'll see if he progresses into something more than that. We start the season off number 28 in the power rankings. And the number 2 team, according to NBA.com, the Detroit Pistons, is our opening night opponent. Other major contenders to win the championship this year are the Spurs, the Heat, who just got Shaquille O'Neal, the Timberwolves, the Nets, and the defending champion, Phoenix Suns. The Detroit Pistons, though, look really good. They had an uncharacteristically bad record last year. They were really down in the dumps before they traded for Rasheed Wallace, and he kind of saved their season, led them to the back end of the playoff seeding. But when you look at this roster, this doesn't look like a team that's going to finish just a couple games over 500 again. Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, and Tayshaun Prince are all at 84 overall or higher. One of the most balanced lineups in basketball, one of the most physical lineups. They did have to sacrifice a little bit of depth, though, in that trade for Rasheed. And we also poached one of their best bench players from last season in Mehmet Okur, so he will get a chance for revenge right away. Our coach is, of course, Isaiah Thomas himself, and he will get a second chance after a unceremonious exit from the Indiana Pacers. His results there weren't terrible, as he did lead the Pacers to a 48-34 record in his final season there. But general manager Larry Bird felt that his team was better than that, and that Thomas was holding them back. And turns out he might have been correct, as after firing Thomas, the Pacers went on to make the NBA Finals, only to lose to the Phoenix Suns. Also, for you historians out there, I was incorrect about that being the first Finals appearance of Reggie Miller's career. He did, of course, make it there in 2000, where he lost to Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers. Sorry, Reggie, if you end up watching this video. But here's the lineup that Coach Isaiah is going to go with to start the year. Steve Blake at the 1, Deshaun Stevenson joining him in the backcourt. Iguodala gets the opening day start in his first career game. And the big men are Udonis Haslem and Mehmet Okur. George Lynch, one of the few veterans we picked up, will be our 6th man, getting 25 minutes off the bench. Willie Green and Beno Udrih will also get some playing time, as well as Chris Anderson, our backup center. So here we are in the Queen City, where basketball has returned to the Charlotte Coliseum after a 1-year hiatus. This place is buzzing with excitement. You see a lot of fans wearing the old Hornets teal, but the Hornets are a thing of the past. We are going to get those fans in the orange and blue soon enough. Look at that beautiful retro graphics package. I love 2K in their My NBA Eras mode. I just wish that the older eras could get some variety in the pregame presentation. We don't get any starting lineup intros or anything. Bobcats taking on the Pistons in their first game as a franchise, and Mehmet Okur wins the tip-off. Steve Blake takes it up the timeline, dribbling to the right side, handing off to Deshaun Stevenson. Working on Rip Hamilton, driving baseline, putting it up and in, off the glass, for the first bucket in Bobcats history. Here we go, everybody. The start of what I hope to be a long, fruitful journey. Tayshaun Prince no good on the 3. Steve Blake looking to capitalize. Around a screen, gets around his defender. Under the rim, gets it out to Mehmet Okur. He has a size mismatch. Putting it up over Chauncey Billups. And he scores easily. He's hoping to make the Pistons regret letting him go. Udonis Haslem in the corner. Driving. Guarded by Rasheed Wallace. Now bumping bodies. Wallace matching the physicality. He blocks the shot and gets the rebound. He is a dude. And the Pistons haven't quite been able to reap the benefits of that trade at the deadline a year ago. But, man, he just fits in perfectly into this starting 5. Good defense from Charlotte as we force the Rip Hamilton miss. Iguodala, nice pass inside to Okur, who throws it down. That connection is one to watch all season long and hopefully beyond. Stevenson bowls over a man and gets called for the foul. 6-0 Charlotte. Our defense has been lights out so far. Rasheed Wallace taking his time. Shot clock at 5. Nice pass inside to the other Wallace for 2. Rasheed showing off the guard skills. Okur on the perimeter. Gives to Stevenson. The 3 rattles out. 3 minutes into this ball game, the scoring. Pretty slow start. What a pass outside to Wallace from Hamilton. And he drains the 3. That's one of the reasons they were, I think, okay with letting Okur go. They know they had Wallace who can do a lot of the same things he can. Iguodala out to Okur. Contested jumper over Prince. Doesn't go. Gonna try to keep the editing to a minimum here in episode 1. Want you guys to take in the scenes of opening day in the NBA. Okur thought about the 3. He can shoot that. Here's Blake. Iguodala off this down screen, driving inside, going to the free throw line. And that's a good sign from Iggy, making his NBA debut already, driving to the cup aggressively. Can't hit the first free throw, though. Not one of his strengths. And he's on the board for his first points in the NBA. 7-5 Charlotte. Hamilton inside to Wallace, and he gives Haslem a little taste. 7-all. 7.5 minutes to go. It's Blake. Calls for a screen from Haslem. Pump fakes, drops it off inside, and Haslem rumbling to the rim. Rasheed Wallace in the post. Just mowing Haslem out of the way for 2. Haslam's our best interior defender, and Wallace just made him look like a cone. Tied at 9. Stevenson falling away, can't hit the jumper. Chauncey Billups the rebound. Steve Blake giving full court pressure, gets a blow by. Now Hamilton up top to Billups, curling around a screen, hits a 3. These Pistons are one of the better shooting teams in the NBA. They've got a handful of guys that can beat you from outside, as Isaiah Thomas calls his first time out, and he will switch up the lineup a little bit. George Lynch, the first man coming in off the bench. Subs out for Udonis Haslem. Okur walking down inside. Gives to Stevenson. Two-man game with Okur. Backing down, now fading away, and hits it. Beautiful move there. 12-11, Detroit on top. Billups jabs, drives, drops off to Wallace. Falling away, hits a high-arcing layup. Wallace, not known as an offensive player, but he struggled especially much last year. And that was a big reason for the Pistons' struggles last season as a team. Nice move to get to the free throw line by Steve Blake, and he hits the first. Second-year man out of Maryland, where he won a national championship, as he hits a pair. Pistons love that double down screen action, especially for Hamilton. Normally a sniper from the mid-range, hasn't been able to beat us there so far. Blake back to Lynch, and reaching in is Rasheed Wallace. He's going to sub out of this game. Unfortunately, with this graphics package, you can't see how many fouls a player has when they commit a foul. So I'm going to have to be guessing a lot. That's a foul on Andre Iguodala off the ball. You also can't see how many timeouts each team has, which could prove to be a problem at times. Chauncey Billups inside to Ben Wallace, smokes the layup. Both teams with some opening day jitters. Iguodala, pull-up jumper from the free throw line. That was buttery. Charlotte has the lead now. Carlos Delfino off the bench. Pull-up jumper. We're going to get Iguodala going downhill again. This time he drives into the teeth of the defense and gets blocked. Delfino on the other end. Missed the layup. Well defended by Blake. He finds Haslem on the wing. Taking it inside. Out to Green. Around a screen. The jumper hung on the rim and fell off. Just over 75% of the way through the first quarter. Ben Wallace with an offensive board and a putback. Haslem mistimed his jump, and Wallace will make you pay for a mistake like that. Another trip to the free throw line for Iguodala. And again, missing the first. Still really liking the aggressiveness we're seeing from him so far. Splits his first two free throw line trips. 18-16, Delfino contested three, buries it. Over Iguodala. So we're here in the Charlotte Coliseum for the first game of the Bobcats season, but this venue will be retired very soon. In fact, the Bobcats have already broken ground on a new arena, the Charlotte Bobcats Arena, which is scheduled to be finished in 2005 for the beginning of next season. As Damon Jones scores inside, and just like that, we're down by 7. George Lynch, a long two, hits it. Would have been nice to step back a step or two. Stevenson with an on-ball steal. Pass ahead to Haslem, missed the layup. Lynch is there for the dunk. Man, we might be losing right now, but we are playing loose and free. And it's only our first time playing together as a team. We get away with an open Billups miss. Lynch taking it up the floor. Pass deflected, finds Haslem anyway. Nice pass inside to Beno Udrih. And he is on the board. I liked what I saw from him in the Summer League as well. Excited to see what we end up getting out of the number 14 pick. Quarter winding down. as the Pistons have most of their bench in the game. Delfino out to Billups, the only starter in there. A half spin move, drives to the rack, bullies Udry out of the way for 2. Cats down 3. Udry with the last shot of the quarter will get it to Okur inside. He can't get it to go. Darko Milicic playing defense. Billups will get a chance, and it's no good. And we are through 1 in Charlotte. The young Bobcats putting up a fight against a team with championship aspirations. Delfino misses a 3, hauled in by Rasheed Wallace. And he has made his mark on the game early. Shooting perfect from the floor, perfect from the free throw line. And he's got 9 points. Stevenson fires and hits. Hasn't shot a lot of threes so far in his career, but he's showing he's capable of doing so. Wallace with another offensive board, misses, gets it back again, and Milicic converts. Here's Okur attacking, now fading away. Oh, what a shot! Putting the ball on the floor for that score, looking like a little bit of Dirk, a little bit of Kobe out there. Delfino will rise for another long ball and hit it. Okur out there with Anderson, the 2 centers, and Okur will go to the line. That's another thing I've been impressed with so far, Okur's ability to draw fouls. He's got 10 points so far. Banging in the post. Another foul drawn on Corliss Williamson this time. And Okur hits both. Tayshaun Prince from the free throw line sticks the pull-up jumper. Pistons lead by 3. Okur pokes it free. Udry on the break, gives to Okur. Long strides to the rim for the lay. Now he contests the layup, forcing the miss. Okur's on fire. Anderson to a cutting Stevenson. Backing down Delfino, pump fakes and hits it. 7 points for Deshaun Stevenson. Billups, another missed 3-pointer. Stevenson, nice pass inside to Okur. Man, these guys are on the same page, and Okur is just kicking into his second gear. Chauncey Billups with a long bomb, and we're tied at 37. Udry misses. Anderson cleans it up and draws a foul. One of the most unique looks in the NBA, a double full sleeve of tattoos and 2 bands on his upper arms. He makes an ill-advised pass and commits a turnover. Tayshaun Prince. End of the shot clock, he hits a 3 to give the Pistons the lead. Steve Blake, long pull-up jumper, no good. Anderson with another board, his 5th, and he gets his first field goal. Tied at 40, Prince curling around the screen at lightning speed. Prince, another guy who struggled last season, hoping to turn it around. He's got the talent to do so. Hamilton contested jumper, got it this time. Hamilton trying to find some rhythm, driving baseline, misses the layup, gets it back, goes to the line. Pistons coached by Larry Brown. Now his second year with the team, a legendary coach, as we get a steal and a breakaway for Iguodala. The rookie putting it all on display today, and how about that full court pass from Lynch to set it up? As that is not great defense, allowing an and 1 to Darko. Blake open for 3, can't cash. And we're down 7. 2 minutes to go in the half. Wallace off the dime from Billups. Stevenson out to Blake, misses another triple. Hamilton picks up his dribble, whips it over to Billups in the corner. And the Pistons are starting to pick up the pace. Bad pass from Green, throws it away. Hamilton missed the layup. Under a minute to go. Blake still trying to get some rhythm. He will take it to the hoop and score through contact. Tayshaun Prince backpedaling for the three. And a double-digit lead for Detroit. Green will be fouled. Green hasn't done much today, only his first 2 points of the night. 57-46. Billups no good. Wallace the rebound. Wallace the score at the buzzer. And the Pistons turn it on in the second quarter to take a 13-point lead into the locker rooms. The difference in talent level between these two squads is definitely large. But here are some halftime highlights of opening day around the league. We have the defending champion Phoenix Suns starting their defense against LeBron James and the Cavs. What a lob from Marbury to Stoudemire. LeBron James gets his season started with a three-pointer. Cleveland is leading here in the second quarter. LeBron with a post-up and the dream shake. Hook shot goes. And the Cavs are still leading here in the fourth. Joe Johnson hits a three in LeBron's face. He doesn't need space to get his shot off as LeBron hits a transition triple. Shooting was supposed to be one of his weaknesses going into the league. Nice step back from Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And the Suns really turned it on in the fourth quarter. Stoudemire gets his own rebound and posters Pfizer. And the Suns look formidable for the foreseeable future. Stoudemire with 30 and 14 in the season opener. LeBron 40 and 10 in a loss. Now we go to Washington, D.C., where Shaquille O'Neal makes his debut in a Miami Heat jersey, and there is his first points, getting his own rebound. Miami had a very active offseason, getting Shaq and other guys like Robert Horry and Hedo Turkoglu, but of course Shaq is the headliner for good reason. Wade, what a move there! Contorting his body midair for the layup, and this is a close game. Gilbert Arenas keeping the Wizards in it, and he gives them a 4-point lead with a three. Here's Wade working on Gilbert Arenas and dunking all over him. Two of the most athletic young guards in the NBA. Here's Wade for three. Miami cuts into a late deficit, but they are not able to get the stop. A crucial score for Etan Thomas. And they steal the inbound pass. Arenas scores on the breakaway, and that seals Washington's win in Pat Riley's return to coaching. Back to the second half in Charlotte, and Chauncey Billups wasting no time, extending the lead to 16. Mehmet Okur, pick and pop triple, bullseye. We're going to need him if we want to come back into this thing. 62-49, Billups pick and roll with Rasheed Wallace, and look who steals it away, Udonis Haslem with a great defensive stop, and Charlotte is off to the races in transition. Tayshaun Prince, no good, but Ben Wallace manages to redirect it in. Haslem on the block and one. Not shying away from contact. Back down to 10 points. Billups to Rip Hamilton. Pull up from the free throw line. Nothing but net. Here's Haslem hitting Stevenson on a cut, and he gets the bucket and the foul. Down to 9. We get to the free throw line again. Iguodala this time. And he again is only able to hit one. Rip Hamilton driving baseline, stopping on a dime, and hitting that shot. Coming around a screen is Iguodala for three, no good. Hamilton with the rebound. Billups pushing, putting it up, and he's fouled by Okur. He only hits one free throw. Here's Okur trying to post up the Defensive Player of the Year. And Wallace locks him down. Oh, that's terrible transition defense. Hamilton just walked his way to the rim unabated. And he gets the dunk and the foul. 72-58. We give it to Okur again. What a move, spinning around his defender for two. And he's over 20 points. He's got 21. Tayshaun Prince, a deep fadeaway shot. No, but we don't box out Ben Wallace. That is not a recipe for success. Okur throws it away. Billups in the passing lanes. Takes it to the rim and puts it up and in. 16-point deficit now. Okur, pull-up jumper from the elbow, rattles home. We can really use him in so many ways on the offensive end. He's going to be such a fun player to play with as Prince steps into a practice shot. Hamilton off a down screen, knocks it down. That's his shot. Okur handling the ball in the pick and roll again, but he misses both free throws. Nice block from Chris Anderson. Can we stop Hamilton, though? We can't. He is finding his rhythm, and he's on fire. Okur is stonewalled at the rim. That had no chance. Get ahead pass to Carlos Delfino. He earns a trip to the line. 21-point game now. Anderson, nice finish inside. But this is starting to get away from us a little bit. Rip Hamilton wants another one. He's got it. He is fired up. Back up to 21. Beno Udrih in the game. What a pass out of a shot to Chris Anderson. We get a rebound. Chris Anderson hauls it in. Down by 19. George Lynch hands off to Beno Udrih. Drives baseline. Blocked and fouled by Billups. Down to 17. Iguodala off a double screen. Pull up J. It goes. 9 points in Iguodala's NBA debut. Hamilton unconscious from the mid-range. We really kept him under wraps in the first half, but not here in the third quarter. Carlos Delfino hits another three. Back up to 20 points. We get a steal. We can hold for last shot if we want. Udrih for three. Yes! Even though we're down, I certainly see some encouraging signs from a lot of players. 17-point game heading into quarter number 4. Carlos Delfino, he hasn't been shy about shooting today, but he gives it to Darko Milicic. Iguodala getting around the defense all the way to the basket and to the free throw line. Finally, he's able to hit both. Tayshaun Prince, foot inside the line, missed the shot. And here's Udrih in transition, ahead to Haslam. And they call that a charge. Come on now. Under 11 to go in this one. Step back J. Carlos Delfino, no good. Udrih to Haslam to Blake. Pump fake, drive, and scored. Nifty move from Steve Blake. 15-point deficit. Oh, what a finish from Tayshaun Prince. He draws contact from Iguodala, and then he flips it up with his body turned away from the basket. Unable to hit the free throw. Prince again. Misses the jumper. Rebound Haslam. Udrih. Nice pass ahead to Haslam. Put it right on the money. Okur, crowded, keeps the ball, puts it up, and he doesn't get the roll. 15 points under 9 minutes to go. That is Damon Jones with the floater off the glass. Steve Blake inside, fakes out 2 Pistons. That's a nasty pump fake from Blake. You got to have that in your bag if you're a small guard like him. As Jones knocks down another. Delfino Misses his 10th three of the game, it feels like. Iguodala off of the lightning speed outlet pass from Blake. Phillips smokes the layup. Iguodala pushing in transition. Blake lays it in. Beautiful transition offense from the Bobcats. Phillips with a hand in his face. Didn't matter. Still 15 points, and Delfino gets in the way of Blake's pass. Phillips is fouled in transition, and there was nobody in front of him. That's a clear path foul, which means 2 shots and the ball. Wallace inside, fouled by Haslam. Didn't play much in the third quarter for some reason. He's got 10 points now. Haslam up and under move. It's good. Okur has a double-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds. Give him 25. Wallace on the block, double team. Back out to Prince. No good. Rebound Wallace. They've killed us on the offensive glass. Wallace spins to the baseline. Pump fakes, puts it up and in off the glass. He is taking us to school on the inside. A turnover. And Billups lobs it up for Wallace. He can't catch it in the air, but he saves it from going out of bounds. Misses the layup, and Wallace is there. The other one, that is. When he's been on the court, he has been unstoppable. Haslam blocked from behind by Wallace. The lead is 20 for Detroit, make it 22. Rip Hamilton, we have not had an answer for him. This game's all but over. We have our reserves in the game as Pat Garrity hits a 3. And for good measure, Rasheed Wallace gets another 2 points. There's Quintel Woods, though, with a physical and 1. And that ends the first game of the Bobcats franchise. Detroit wins it 115-95 on our home floor. That was fun, though, getting to start our franchise against one of the classic, most memorable teams from this era of the NBA. Other players were good but not great. Iguodala scores 13 in 35 minutes in his debut. Beno Udrih in his debut has 6 assists, and some pretty nice ones at that. Udonis Haslam was kind of neutralized by Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. I have no idea why Rasheed only played 16 minutes in this game. He got the start, but for some reason, they were obsessed with playing Corliss Williamson instead, who had 0 points. Meanwhile, Chauncey Billups goes 45 minutes and scores 23. We end up shooting 47% as a team, only 31% from 3, making 4 total. Honestly, our defense was the main problem here rather than our offense. We gave up a lot of open shots, and that's the reason we lost. I wanted to hop into this game here because the scheduling AI was cooking, putting Kobe versus Shaq very early in the year. After winning 3 championships together consecutively, they were unable to continue to make things work. Kobe knocks down a 3, and the Heat get it inside the Shaq early, who hangs on the rim. And the Miami Heat are off to a major lead here in the third. Hedo Turkoglu with a finish inside. 15-point game with 3.5 to go. Kobe trying to will his team back in it. It's pretty much a one-man team here now in LA. What a move there. Just elite footwork from the Black Mamba. Wade with a nice bounce pass inside to Shaq. That duo is sure to produce some highlights. And they get their first win of the year, 109-98 in LA. Shaq nearly had a triple-double in this one, fighting off 32 points from Kobe. We also have the NBA debut of number 1 pick Dwight Howard, the newest New York Knick. And that hook shot goes for his first points. Fourth quarter in a low-scoring game, Howard muscles it in. And he had a very good debut. 24 points, 4 blocks in a win. The Nets lost Kenyon Martin in free agency, and so far they look like a much worse team because of it. Jason Kidd not able to do it all by himself. But for some reason I hopped into this game. I don't know why. This is the very next game, so these two teams played each other back to back. Jason Kidd wins it with 0.4 seconds remaining. Gets the floater to go. And a much better showing this time from New Jersey. Jason Kidd with 23 and 12. And how about Nick Van Exel, who they acquired in the offseason? How about Dwight Howard, though, putting up another 4-block performance, 17 and 13. 7 turnovers, though. Our next game is on the road at Portland. And let's see how this goes. We'll jump in if it's interesting at the end. I want to capture our first win of the series. And so far, so good in Portland, up by 16 at the half. Deshaun Stevenson with 14, and a good game from Haslam as well. And wow, our defense is a lot better in this one. Under 6 to go, we've only allowed 59 points to the Blazers. Let's jump in and finish this one out. At the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. 3-second violation on Udonis Haslam. Come on, man. Here's Zebo, Zach Randolph, bullying Haslam out of the way for an easy 2. The reigning most improved player. Okur smokes that shot. Really should have had it. 15-point lead. Derek Anderson steps back for 3. What a shot from him. Haslam drives to the left side, fouled by Randolph. These two are battling right now. Haslam defends Randolph, but he can't get the rebound, and he pays for it. Randolph dunks on his head. 11-point lead. Okur with a strong finish. He's had a quiet day. That's only his 8th point. We get a stop. Long pass ahead to Beno Udrih. He pushes all the way to the rim. And he's in the game late here over Steve Blake. He's got 19 in just his second NBA game. Randolph with a spin move and maybe a little elbow attached to it. We lead by 13. Udrih to the rack. And with these free throws, he gets to 20 points, only hitting 1 of 2. Sharif Abdur-Rahim on the block, lays it in. Not going to be enough, though, to come back. Okur pump fakes, steps into a mid-ranger, and it gets the friendly bounce. Not the best game for Okur, but that secures his double-double. And the Charlotte Bobcats have won their first ever basketball game. 84-72. Might have benefited from some poor shooting on the Blazers' part, but we won this game handily. Thanks to Beno Udrih's 20 points. Deshaun Stevenson also supplied 16. Iguodala with another 13 piece. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I'm going to keep it short. We got our first win. We played our first game. And hopefully a lot more wins to come in future episodes. But this was really, really fun to get this show on the road, finally. I'm very happy with the roster I created. And as expected, it was very fun to play with. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like what you see, would really appreciate if you left a comment with some feedback. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, even turn post notifications on if you don't want to miss an upload. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I look forward to continuing this Charlotte Bobcats franchise very soon.